What is up, my friends? Happy Friday. Woo! I hope you guys are ready to talk about the truth tonight. Let me know how the audio is. You guys know me, I'm always plagued with audio issues, so good to know if everything is working all right, because it'll be probably a first. So tonight I'm doing things a little bit different. We've got like kind of the chill vibe going on, also kind of gangster chill, right? But let me know if you guys feel like the volume's good, tune's good. If everything's good, let's do this. Let's go. I got some fun info to talk about tonight, some interesting info as well. But everybody knows, because it's been all over the feeds, right, that the new Star Wars has been released, and that's what we're really going to get into. But before we do that, I would like to thank you all for joining me this lovely evening. And sorry, I was reading the chat. And while I'm not going to call out everyone in the chat, I do want to say I appreciate you all. I love you all. And thank you for being here. It's been a really weird week. As most of you know, it's been kind of tumultuous. And I'm not going to go into detail about any of that stuff because that's not what this show is going to be about. But I just want you guys to know that this is going to be a place where we're chill, we're hanging out, we're having fun, and that's really what it's about. And I want you guys to be comfy here and, no personal attacks on anyone. That's kind of my set of rules. And let's just talk and discuss things like adults and just nerd out over our hobby. Yeah? Okay, so with that kind of out of the way now, Star Wars Cab is the real Polybius. This is what I'm talking about. G.I. Joel knows the truth. Boom. Oh, that's weird. Are you guys not seeing the icon on your side? That is so bizarro. Okay. Well, anyways, there had to be some sort of technical issue, so that's all I can say. So basically, if you look at the new Star Wars Cab, one of the interesting things about it is that, well, let's put it this way. If you look at the new Star Wars Cab on Arcade1up's website and Shop Hippo's website, it does not look like what I have seen comes out of the box if you order that cab. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about right here. And we are going to switch over to this medicinal view, what I'm going to call it here. Here's my music. Of course, because, it's how I roll, guys and gals. All right, so I did a side-by-side picture of Steven. I did a side-by-side picture of the two cabinets so that we could really get a clear view of what they look like. And these are both renders, all right? You guys tell me what you think. What does it look like to you? Does it look like it's the same thing, or does it look like two completely different renders? Now take the artwork completely out of it. Remove the artwork in your mind and just look at the mold of the actual cabinet. To me, it looks like a completely different mold, right? But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the chat, and we're going to keep on going on this because I am just not very sure how this happened exactly. We're going to go back over to Kong's video, and we're going to look at a comparison that he had last night where he basically had another person on his YouTube and was talking about the differences between the two cabs visually. But yeah, Mackie Rob says that it looks different by size. Well, you could say that's for me, putting the two images together and trying to get them sized correctly because they're kind of at a slightly different angle. But it's definitely different, right? If you look at the screen, so like right here, I don't know if you guys, wait, can you guys see my arrow? My pointer? Well, anyways, if you look at the screen of the one on the left, it's perfectly in line with the control panel almost. And then you look on the right, and obviously it's offset, right? So the side design is different, right? It's smaller at the top, which was leading me to think that it was going to be a slide-in marquee like they're doing now, you know, like their standard is like the slide-in marquees, right? So there's a lot of little tiny differences, and I totally don't count the fact that it's got a coin door and different art because that's, you know, that's not a big deal. That's easy to do. So, all right, I'm pulling up. Let me see. Sorry, guys. 1 second. All right. So, yeah, it looks different by size for that. The cab sides are different in design. So, on the render, this is a good question. Was that purposely done? Why would they do that, though? Because if I would have pre-ordered this and gotten the same mold out of the box as what I already have, I think I would have been kind of upset about it. That's just my personal feelings on it. Oof, man. So if you can find a OG 80s cab, yeah, a big if, well, at least especially where I am. So JT says the render is obviously incorrect. The screen angle is off. I think they've been pretty forward in saying the cab was re-released with different graphics. Yeah. So it's very interesting to me that the renders were like this on both websites. And where this is kind of going, where I'm going with this, is not so much that I want to call them out for like doing this and having, you know, the render looking the way that it does. Although I just think it's like totally bizarre. Okay. But the other thing that's kind of interesting to me is that it's totally not difficult if you already have one to just basically make these minor changes to it to kind of adjust it, if you will. So I'm going to pull up this video clip right here of B-Kong's on his stream, and we're just going to take a look at it real quick because I want you guys to see side by side what they actually look like. And let me know if the volume's okay for you guys because it's going to be playing over everything else. So here we go.
Why did you pick up a second cabinet if you already have the first one? Like, what drew you to buying that other one?
I'm a crazy Star Wars fan and a hoarder like everybody else, but mainly it's because when I did your mod, and I love your mod, I did sell the stock PCB, but I started missing the simplicity of having the stock PCB and the way that Code Mystics did emulation, because you do have all the original games on your mod.
So just kind of looking at it here, you can see them right next to each other. They look identical, obviously. I mean, from what I can see, from what he mentions in this video, they're the same exact mold. So I just thought it was like strange that the render was so different. And I don't think that it's the first time that I've seen them have like renders that are slightly or maybe even exaggeratedly different from what we end up getting out of the box. You know, sometimes it's branding or sometimes it's something else. But with this one in particular, I legitimately myself thought that if I ordered it, it was going to look how it was going to look in the picture. Like I did not realize it was going to be the same exact mold. There's nothing wrong with this, okay? I think it's a great mold. I think that the new cabinet artwork looks amazing. It's definitely looks better than the original as far as the artwork goes. I like how they went with the black T molding, which is better than the blue and the gray, in my opinion, because it looks more like the original. It's fashioned after the original more in that sense. The coin door as well, the design, the overall design of everything, it looks just more similar to the original. So that's cool. So if you didn't get the first run of Star Wars cabs that they put out, is this worth, the $5.99? And can you justify it? What do you guys think? I want to hear some of your opinions in the chat about why you could justify a $5.99 price point going from $4.49 or $4.99. Obviously, the light up coin door, let's just be generous and say $50 more for the light up coin door. The cost of the yokes and then refacing the cabinet, but essentially everything else is the same. So is there a way to justify that price point change? Is there a way to say, yes, with the way that the economy is, it's kind of cray-cray right now. So will you guys let that stew? Let me show you something else that I did today with my Star Wars cabinet. So I have the original run of the Star Wars cabinet, which I got for $4.49. It was originally a sit down, and I got this one off of Walmart. And I have Glenn's GRS yoke on it. I have the only other thing major that I've done aesthetically is I just got done painting the trim on it black because I wanted it. I liked the way that the other one looks with the black trim. I think it just makes the whole cab look a little bit darker and kind of just gives it a better overall aesthetic, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, everybody's opinions are different on that. But I also got the aftermarket riser, and you can see it's already black because those just come without anything on them. And I got a sticker kit for it that puts the actual original Arcade1Up graphics on it. And then I got a booster for it, which I've had. I've had it set up like this for a long time. It's just that I've kind of been slowly chipping away at it. So, all right, let's take a look here and see what you guys are saying. All right, so Bonafide is saying not worth $5.99, maybe $4.99. Inflation makes it worth $4.49. Har har. Interesting. All right, let me see. Mitchell R. They know people will buy at that price because of FOMO. FOMO. Come on. We all love that FOMO, guys and gals and everything in between. $4.99 plus $50 coin door, 25 light up kit, inflation, $5.99. I mean, that's I kind of agree with that. If you think about the cost of that yoke too, I mean, you guys know that yoke is probably one of the most expensive parts on that thing for sure. Up until last week, if you wanted to buy a used OG cabinet, you would have had to pay over $1,000. I think $5.99 is a great price. This is a good point. I agree with that point of what you're saying, JR, because yes, if you are trying to get these anywhere, they are going to be $800 to $1,500. I've seen some crazy things, especially looking over the last couple days. Even still, people want these. They are sought after, and they are by far, in my opinion, one of Arcade1up's best cabs. So is the price fully justifiable? I don't know. I guess it's subjective, but I think from a marketing point of view that it's not bad. $5.99 is not terrible, but I'm not also saying like that's great, go buy it. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. But it's also hard to say when I have one that I got for $4.49. I will say I think that the newer one looks better than the original run. And me personally, I don't see the need to upgrade, especially now, especially knowing that there is no difference in the design or the inlay of the screen or anything really other than the coin door and the graphics. But I do love the graphics. I have a $4.99 super chat from Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, which, by the way, you guys, he is very talented and does some really cool artwork slashy rendering stuff. Ezekiel, love you for that. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, what's up, Jade? I love the painted T mold. I did order the new one, and selling my old one, it looks closer to OG. Now, this brings up another good point. If you did order the new one, you can easily sell your old one and make more than what you're even going to pay for the new one. So you do have that going for you. However, if you missed it on the first one, you're going to be paying $5.99, right? I thought it was kind of cool that Best Buy did have that leftover inventory that they ended up pulling and were able to get out to some people. I mean, they got a good deal. So thank you for that super chat, Ezekiel. Appreciate you. Bono's Tecmo says, I would have bought this back in 2002 when I was huge into playing Star Wars and ESB on MAME using a mouse, right? I know that's one of the things about this cabinet, though, that really sets it apart. So now, again, if you guys are just joining, what you're seeing on the screen is actually my own Star Wars cabinet from the first run of Star Wars. And the main thing that I did was I painted right here on this molding. And if you guys go to my community post, you can see what kind of paint I used and how I did it. I basically just dabbed it on with a roller, and it smoothed out and dried out great. Looks like it was meant to be on there. I love it. I like the way that it looks. I really want to put a coin door there, and I did take off one of my other coin doors and hold it over that little black spot there. So right here, and right here. And the coin door will cover all of that. So if you do want to do a coin door, it's really easy to put one on there. Now you do have that kind of a wood support beam that blocks you, but you can screw it onto the bottom and probably use adhesive on the top is what I would do. Let me take a look here. My marketplace, the prices dropped overnight once the new cab was announced. I can get an OG cab for $400. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I haven't seen anything like that. Not anywhere. Not on eBay, not on OfferUp. But maybe it's just the way it is out here in SoCal. So I know that this game is a sought after game, and it'll be interesting to see where they're going with this in the future. And this is an interesting point, which I'll talk on in a moment. It'll be interesting to see where they're going in the future with the Star Wars line, though, because, are they going to move it over to a deluxe? Are they going to move it to an XL or Pro? So I think they're going to be very careful about how they use the word Pro moving forward. So we'll see about that. But let me pull up a couple other pictures here really quick. Here's one with it on. Let's see here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. But you guys can see just kind of what I'm saying, like the darkness of the cab and the trim. I just really like it. Like it makes the contrast so much sexier, right? I mean, let me know what you guys think. So you guys can see, so if you look down on my riser, I actually have not put on the side stickers yet because I'm being a lazy bitch. But, I'll get around to it. But anyways, so this comment from Top Tools, compared to the new deluxe cabinets, which cost less and have more games. Right, but they don't have light up coin doors, and they also don't have Code Mystic software on it. And and they don't have a yoke that's really expensive. Like that, like I was saying, like that yoke is the most expensive part of this thing. So justifiably so, what is it, $100 price difference between them would make sense in my opinion. But that's just kind of my point of view. That's my take on it. But I mean, what do you guys think of that though? Like if you have a first run Star Wars cab and you were thinking about upgrading because of the artwork or something, like, do you think it's substantial enough? Like, do you really want to go out of your way to do it? Let me know some of your opinions in the chat, because I am curious to see. My opinion is just that I had initially pre-ordered it, then I canceled it for personal reasons, and I thought about it, and I'm like, wow, because I watched that video that Kongs had put out, and I'm like, man, all you really need to do then is just paint the molding to get that contrast going and stick a coin door on there. The artwork isn't going to be as snazzy, but it's not like substantial enough for me to justify going out of my way to get one. Biggie D is saying that he wants the $449 Best Buy model they sold last week. Yeah, I mean, that would be ideal, right? So, yeah, I mean, I'm impartial to it. I think I would prefer the kickplate artwork, but so I'm not totally impartial, I guess, but I just mean as far as like from a monetary point of view. So Thunderbird says no. Top Tools, yeah, hope they come out with Deluxe or XL for sure by Christmas. Would they charge $6.99 or $7.99? I mean, if it was in an XL, I would definitely say it would be hard to see them not selling it for $7.99. I feel like an XL would be a good reason to upgrade, especially if they did the bezel. If they did an XL with the bezel and a light up coin door and a slide in marquee, I think an upgrade would be inevitable. But I would not order it direct from Arcade1Up. I would go through Walmart or some other entity, probably Walmart. That's like my go-to if I have to. Zohar says he just wants the Star Wars arcade version from Sega. I think a lot of people want that. Brad Dad says that he likes the blue trim. Am I reading that correctly? You're partial to the blue trim. I just wish I could find a good coin door. Yeah, I mean, you can find them on eBay. So you could either stick them on there, or if you want to do light up, you might have to do a little bit more, but it wouldn't be difficult. Boo, boo, boo. Let's see. Sorry, I'm catching up here. Okay. So with that being said, though, you do have that beam there on the front that's kind of blocking you, so you have to work around that. All right, let's go over here. So we're going to go back over here and take a little bit more of a look at kind of what they showed. And I wanted you guys to see that clip where he said, why did you upgrade to it? And that's one of the things that I do like about this cab, as it is, of course, one of their best cabs, if not their best cab of all time. The fact that Code Mystics worked on it. It's a beautiful, emulation port of all these games, and it runs so well and works so well with the yoke. If you do get Glenn's GRS yoke, you're definitely not going to be disappointed. But regardless of the yoke, it just is. They did a beautiful job on it. So let's check this out.
But I know they're the main versions, and I just felt like, I mean, they were a little distorted. You had to they were just a little off to me. They weren't as bright and colorful and simplistic.
So if we go here,
side by side, you have them physically there. The
right. What are the differences?
The camera on that 1UP show was like a wide angle camera, so it was making it look fatter than it was. But now that you have it in hand,
like the lines. And
Okay,
stuff,
so
they're
one
gonna
of
be
the
a little bit easier to see.
things
They're a little bit more faded on the original, so that's
Oh, I
basically
see. So
the
they
difference.
actually touched
he
with
was
the artwork.
saying
Alright,
is
so let's
that
talk
it
about that
looks
marquee
like
people
the
are
print
asking. What's
quality
the marquee
is a
look
little
like?
bit
The
better.
marquee it's pretty similar. I mean, as far as resolution, yeah, it's pretty similar. I mean, obviously I have that little quality control issue with you see the little cable in the original. I think a lot of people had
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shadow,
Mm-hmm.
and this one doesn't. But other than that, it looks like they built the same.
So it's the same marquee, and this was another thing that I was kind of like disappointed with. I'm like, dude, how are you guys not going to do a slide in marquee when that's been your model and you took the time to put new artwork on this? I don't feel like it would have been difficult to do a slide in marquee, but of course, you know, it's going to be more cost effective to use the mold that they already have, obviously. I see someone in here said that it's overpriced. Again, I really struggle with that, you guys, just because the cost of the coin door, the light up coin door, and the yoke, those two things alone, coupled with the reskin, and you know the situation that we're in economically, and the fact that the software is done by Code Mystics, I feel like that all kind of plays a role in the rise of the price. Now, I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to shoot straight down the middle about it. Like, that's my line of thought. You know, would a $550 price point have been better? Probably. But I think that, you know, it just kind of is what it is. So, Kongs, what's up? Kongs in the house, everybody. And I am losing my voice, you guys. Sorry. But anyways, so yeah, the marquee, I was kind of like, man, disappointing. And everything else is the same essentially, except for the UI. I guess like there's a couple like tiny graphical differences from what I understand. Let's see, what is this? You know, that's interesting. Would you be able to fit it in without any issues? One of the strange things about this cab is the way that it's built. And like, you know, the control panel, as soon as you unscrew it, that thing will just slide right off. It'll karate chop you right in the groin. Disney wants their cut too. Let's not forget that. And we all know Disney's on a tear right now. Arr. So that's also a good point. I mean, they have to get royalties for all those games. Tron, Star Wars, blah, 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 you know, corpo mumbo jumbo. I just think that, like, when it comes to the price point, I mean, if you feel like it's too expensive, like, that's cool. That's your feelings on it, you know. I'm just saying, how do you justify, like, when you're saying that, aside from your feelings, how do you, from a monetary point of view, justify that? It's kind of the way I look at it. Anyways, all right, let's go over here so I can pull up this. Just a couple more things I want to show you guys here, and then we'll kind of move on to a few different things. Rhea is in the house, everyone. Say hi to the Glimmering Harpy. She's beautiful, she's magical, and she's a streamer, and she rocks. All right. So let me move.
Vinyl on the light box, so it's not like the upgraded marquees people were talking about.
I will say this though, Star Wars has my favorite light box marquee of them all. The image looks the best, hands down. The lighting is just right. It doesn't look washed out. At least mine doesn't look washed out. I actually liked the marquee for that one. It is 100% my favorite light box marquee that they've done.
On the other cabs.
Yeah, it's still the lightbox version.
It's still a lightbox version. It looks
and
like
even back then, the old lightbox was so like same graphic, looks pretty much same.
The riser. If you use the riser and you don't care about.
Okay. So this is a really good view because you can see, like, literally, it looks like the same mold. Now, mine has like the riser booster on it, so I have to factor that in when I'm looking at this. But other than that, it looks like the same mold. I don't know, like the camera is slightly off. What do you guys think? Let's zoom in a little bit. Actually, my daughter stole my headset and then gave me hers. So, oh, children. So yeah, take a look at it and tell me what you guys think. I think it's just the camera angle, because it looks like the same mold to me. But yeah, I mean, and the artwork looks good on the original. Obviously, having it stretched down the side looks better. But when you look at like how much they have filled in at the bottom, I don't know. It's kind of like semi cringe, because it's like they stretched the bottom out just to make it all the way down to the bottom. It would have been kind of cool if they maybe would have done like I don't know, something different. But what do you guys think? Let's do this. Put a 1 in the chat if you would prefer the original or if you like that better, and put a 0 in the chat if you prefer the new style and if you would prefer that. I just want to see. I guess I could do a poll too, but that's what she said. Psh. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Lots of zeros. Couple ones, but mostly zeros. All right. I think I like the newer style of art better myself. If I had to choose, if I could choose between the two, I think I would choose the new art. But it's also not something that's going to make me basically sell my Star Wars cab and get a new one. Yeah. But anyways, if you're ordering it off of Shop Hippo, you're going to have to wait until February 15th, apparently. All of the ones on Arcade1Up sold out like almost instantaneously. So all the ones on Arcade1Up's website sold out instantaneously almost. I went there just to look and they were gone. And you guys know, like, after my KI Pro experience, I'm really not interested in buying direct from Arcade1Up. It's just not an experience that I want to deal with. It's easier to go through like Walmart, where you have a 90-day return policy, and it's just a lot easier to deal with that way. And usually Walmart ships really fast anyways. So, and I'm sorry, I'm behind on the chat. Let me take a look here and see what's going on here. Lots of love for Raya. Sorry, Raya. It's Raya, you guys. Psh. Okay. Lots of love for Raya in the chat. No one. New one is way better. Yeah. It is better. It is better. But also, think about this. Unless you have it like as a centerpiece, you're not going to notice it as much. You know, like mine, literally, you only see one side of it. And then since I have my tabletop, or what's it called, you guys? What is it? My head-to-head, Miss Pac-Man, kind of covers the riser part of it. So it's like I get to see the glorious part of it, and it's not stretched out too much, so I can actually see the X-Wing still and stuff. But if I had the new one, I wouldn't really see the X-Wing. So, But anyways, I don't know. That's my thoughts. Cocktail table, thank you. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, there's a lot of things wrong with me, guys. Let's just face it. And I fart in my sleep, so. Awkward silence. Okay. So anyways, really nothing too crazy. Essentially the artwork, coin door. And that's about it. Still has the really good software on it. But you know, I gotta say, I don't think that a $5.99 price point is too bad. I don't think it's too bad. That's just my point of view. If you're thinking about the yoke, like I feel like everybody forgets the yoke. The yoke is expensive. It costs money, honey. So, yeah, but oof, that's rough. But the yoke is expensive. That's like probably the most expensive. I mean, it is the most expensive component on this cab. Yeah, it is very telling. But like I said, if you have them squashed between other cabinets, or I think it's around $200 or somewhere around there. We could actually go check. So, $140 right now. There you go. We don't call it time crisis here. We call it banana crisis. So let's see here. Yeah, so this is the original one that was on Walmart. Whoa, hey there. And, you know, the blue trim looks cool. I think it's very poppy and it looks clean. It just seems like there's a lot going on, though. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot going on with the different trim colors. I think that's one of the things that I like about the black. Look at this guy. What is he doing, you guys? Like, do you see this? What is this? This kid is like, it's like, is he a wax statue? He's, and like somebody went over there, you know, like some Arcade1up photographer, and they're like, stand there and don't move. And the kid's like, and then they like go over and adjust his face and adjust his arms and body. And they're like, okay, perfect. Oh man. Yeah. It just looks like, so he's like T-Rexing. He's T-Rexing. Can you guys believe that? He's T-Rexing. But anyways, as you guys can see in this picture with the kid who's T-Rexing, it looks nice in that form factor. So, Console Fanboy says, can I use the yoke to play GoldenEye? Because I'm struggling. And I'd like to thank you, Zohar, for the super chat. And the answer to your question is no. No, you cannot. I'm sorry. But actually, technically, if you set it up with like one of Bkong's emulation setups, I think you could. So, yeah, I guess it is possible. Anything's possible. Thank you for the super chat. Rhea says, oh man, I hope their neck is okay. Oh yeah, me too, though. Seriously. I mean, he's been standing there for an awful long time. Holy crap. All right, I'm done. That was bad. That was like a dad joke. Okay. So anyways, Bkong's great stream. If you guys haven't watched it, check it out so you can get a closer comparison if you're interested in that. Me personally, my solution is exactly this, which is I painted my trim black. You know, I got Glenn's GRS yoke, which no matter which model you get, I think that is an excellent choice if you really care about that deep precision. I will say, though, that the yoke it comes with is good. It's perfectly fine. But you're definitely going to notice a difference just as far as the way it feels. It feels more like the arcade version to me when I'm using his yoke. And I can't really place it. It's just a feeling. So whether you choose to get it or not, it is a great upgrade, exceptional. But the yoke it does come with is very nice. And again, it's pretty incredible that they're able to do it at that price point. I mean, think if Glenn's costs $140, I think it was initially around $200. I don't know if anybody in here can confirm that or deny that. But you know, if his version was costing around $200, and I know that was like, that's still a good deal. Like $140 is a really good deal. But even then, like the components for it at, you know, market value have got to be around 100 or more, depending on who they're using. And yeah, normally $199, it's on sale. So if you guys do want Glenn's yoke, it is on sale right now. $140 is a good deal. It's a really good deal. But normally $199. So you got to figure, you know, even for the standard yoke that it comes with, which is still a good yoke, definitely makes sense that it's going to be the most expensive component in there. All right. Thank you, Raya. Let me see here. All right. So back to the land of the living in the stream. Look, you guys, I'm just saying, when I'm talking about like the truth of this product, what does that mean? It means, are we getting what we wanted? Are we getting what we paid for? Are you guys getting what you wanted? Are you getting what you paid for? I think it's great that this thing is back out and you can get it for less than $700, $800, $1,000 because they were a rare hot commodity for a long time. And I actually can pull that up for you. My amazing Kung Fu. Give me one moment here and I will do that for you. But I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I think $5.99 with a better design and a light up coin door is better than nothing. I think it's better than not having access to it and only being able to get the first run model, which doesn't have the upgraded features. Small, I'll bet, but still, I think it's cool. So, but I don't think it's worth upgrading if you already have one. That's my truth. Let me take a look here to find Glenn's yoke. GRS Thundersticks yoke. All right. The flight yoke. Here we go. I'm going to switch views back so y'all can see here. And kaboom. And by the way, you can also save 20%. Oh, well, I think when you sign up with a new email. Ooh, it's not on sale anymore, is it? It says $199. Coupon code is not acceptable. Oh, there is another 30% off on all accessories. I don't know if that code is still good. But anyways, I mean, this thing is great. And it's like heavy metal, all right? Heavy metal build quality. It definitely feels like something that you would get in the 80s, not in the late 90s. And if you know, you know. So anyways, it's got, the other cool thing about this is that if you want to build a custom cab, it has all the hookups, all the connections to be able to plug it into USB or, you know, any other way that you could use it. And it also works with the original arcade, I believe. Don't quote me on that though, but I'm pretty sure all the connections on the back allow you to do PC, Arcade 1-Up, and the original arcade. So anyways, you can get that from thunderstickstudio.com. It's $199, but I think there is a coupon active that you can use. And I'm going to pull the chat back up because somebody's already probably said it. So Mike, what's up? Let me see here. Where did I go? Hi. Okay. Doo-doo-doom. If you think expensive, well, I'm in Australia. It's costing me $500 US to ship. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. I don't know. I mean, I personally, like, my personal truth is, and you know, after kind of studying the monetary value of it, is just that I think that $599 is a good price tag. I don't think, for me, it's not worth upgrading, especially after seeing a lot of the pictures and videos and stuff. But I think that it's a cool cab. It is one of their best cabs, hands down. You know, the $599 price point, Yeah, it sucks it's more expensive, but it's a good cab. Good software. Great lineup of classic 80s games. You know, when was it released? 83 originally, I think. Let me see here. Holiday 30 is the code. Yeah. And they have it on there too, so I think you also get a discount if you are using a new email when you sign up. I think. Scroll. I need to like turn on slow mode. You guys are getting fast. You're getting real fast on me. So overall, you know, I'm not going to personally upgrade to it. If they do come out with an XL and it has a bezel, slide in marquee, you know, obviously a light up coin door. And it's like $6.99, $7.99 would be pushing it. I'd be like the Drake meme, you know, but I don't know. I might do it if it's available through like Walmart. So if you already replaced, so Kong says, if you already replaced the stock yoke, Jade, you should consider going full PC mod for your cab and play a ton more games with the yoke. I can't do it, B. I can't do it. I can't commit to it, all right? There's something about that cab that I don't want to take the originality away from it too much. Even though I painted the trim black, okay? But like I don't want to like, there's some, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't. You're brave and you're good at what you do, but I can't do it with that one. I was thinking about doing it with my Ridge Racer though. And that's something that I would definitely need your help with. Oh, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. The renders make it look like the monitor is a different angle. Yeah, I mean, and that's what we were kind of talking about. So, KI Pro, man, it was rough. It was rough. I'm thinking about reskinning mine to a KI2. I'm kind of actually secretly in the works of doing that because I think it would actually look really good. And I could do it right. But thank you, JT. I couldn't do it for too long. Ridge Racer, yeah, Ridge Racer's a good cab to do that on. But Kongs has to help me. See, he has to lead me in the right direction with that because I'm legitimately like scared of that one. I'm totally like techie nerd. I will nerd out on things, but I don't know, like anything to do with getting inside of there and a steering wheel, I'm scared. I'm like automatically like it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work right. But I hear there's some good kits out right now. So, okay, I'm gonna shift gears just a little bit, you guys, because I want to show you something. I don't know, you guys saw like one of my shorts on a handheld that I got a while back, and it's something that I want to talk about in just a minute here before we wrap up. Well, as we're wrapping up our Star Wars chat, like, do you guys have any input or thoughts that like you want to share about the new Star Wars cab? Like, I'm always curious to hear your guys' feedback, especially when it's like constructive. Like, I'm really interested to hear people's feedback about this kind of stuff. But you know, the price point, we all know, like, it would be nice to pay less than $600 for it, but realistically, you know, is it justified? Thank you, Chris. But if you think that the price point is justifiable, at least from the point of view of you would rather do that with the new design and light up coin door versus paying $1,000 for a first gen run, you know, let me know. If you think that no, it's not, and you would rather pay $1,000, let me know, because I'd really like to know why. I don't like the Star Wars cab. It's been done already. It's like doing something twice. But it it was only done in a limited run. So I think that people really wanted it back. A lot of people missed out on it, you know, and then the only opportunity to get it was, you know, to bring it back like this. And I don't know. I think it was wise on their part to do that for the consumer base, because there is a lot of Star Wars fans out there who did not get a Star Wars cab. Sad pandas. But yeah, I mean, like Outrun, for example, when they first started doing their cabs, they did a lot of runs where they were just one and done. And so I think that it's nice that they're bringing some of the major, like that is a major one that they brought back, and that matters to people. And obviously the software on there again is really good. And you know, the yoke is good. And so you really get that feeling, that nostalgic feeling when you're playing it. And so I think it's just one of their best cabs. My dogs know I'm streaming, so they're starting to bark at me and disrespect me right now. So let's see, Bonafide. For me, it's the same problem I had with T2 Cab. I'm paying $600 for 2 games. Yes, but Bonafide, if you wanted to play Star Wars in a stand-up format with a yoke, where else are you going to be able to do that? I mean, that's my thought process. I'm not disrespecting what you're saying. That's just my thought process. I get like the point that you're making as far as like the games go, but to be honest, when I started buying Arcade1up's, it wasn't for like a huge roster of games. It was legitimately for the specificity of playing them in an arcade platform style. So I'm like just more concerned about like the software and control aspect of it. So Outrun would be a great re-release. I think that would I'll try not to. I think that would be a great re-release though. Outrun, I would love to see it. I would sell my Ridge Racer and just buy that. GRS yoke with the Gamer Pro pedestal is a non-licensed way to do these Star Wars games better. Yeah. But how much does that cost? I mean, when you're talking about what machine's going to power it, you know, putting it all together and the price of parts, like what is the cost of that? I'm genuinely curious. Yeah, this after the prices on eBay for the last few years and on OfferUp, I mean, this is a discount. So it's definitely a lot less expensive for them to do another official re-release. Have to compete with scalper prices. Well, anyways, guys, I appreciate your feedback on that. And I can't believe we are already at the 10 minutes left mark. So, you know, last thing I'm going to say, I just really wanted to hit the truth point on this cabinet and kind of just discuss what your guys' point of view was on it, you know, and where I was coming from. Because I mean, this is one of the cabs that I love that actually was responsible for sucking me into buying other Arcade1up cabs. So my dog is so disrespectful. But anyways, this is what I want to show you guys. This thing is sweet. So if you've seen a while back, I actually did a video on a different model of this. And the reason why I wanted to bring this one up and show you guys is because this one is capable of playing up to Dreamcast games, you guys. And so obviously on here I have arcade games as well, but I can also play MSU1 games and DD Drive games. Isn't that something? And check it out. Kaboom. Atomus Wave. So I've, of course, got all the handhelds and stuff. And another cool thing is if you're playing Game Boy games on this, you can actually set up the screen so that it mimics like the original look of the screen. And it looks so good. Like the screen looks so good. I love it. And thank you, Tyndall. I appreciate that. I'm going to hold this up here so you guys can see. But look, it looks like a backlit version or frontlit version of the original screen. And you even have options to set up, like, you know how the screen kind of like looked fuzzy when the characters were moving? It emulates all that. So one of the other cool things about this is obviously, like I showed you, they have Atomiswave, and you can play some of these awesome arcade games on a handheld, which I love because I love arcades. And, you know, so if I'm kind of just being like lazy and laying on my couch, I'll grab this thing and I'll just sit there and play like some Sam Show or, you know, like X-Men versus Street Fighter. Isn't it crazy that literally we couldn't play X-Men versus Street Fighter properly on systems like PlayStation back in the day, and now we can just pull this thing out and play X-Men versus Street Fighter on it? It's freaking ridiculous, right? Crazy. So anyways, I am not like sponsored by these people or anything, but I want to show you guys up here. You can see the buttons on the back. They've got a really nice layout back there. And then on the front, you have two analog sticks. You have two analog sticks. You got your 4 buttons and your D-pad, select and start. It's just very solid. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like an actual Game Boy, just as far as like the quality. So this is Samurai Spirit 6. And sorry if the screen is a little, there we go. Well, anyways, this is an Atomiswave game that runs great on here. So for this particular model, it's important for me to mention to you guys that it does cost $150, but when you think about what you're getting and what it's capable of doing, it's great. So if you want to check it out, I'm going to leave a link in the description, but it's called the RG353V. And this is like the most upgraded, up-to-date model that I know of. So you can play Dreamcast, Atomiswave, Naomi, which I haven't tried, but I'm assuming you should be able to play it if you can play Atomiswave. And then obviously all the console games from like Dreamcast down. It also plays PS2 and PSP. I have not tried either of those, but from my understanding, it works pretty well. So yeah, $150 on Amazon. It's a great way to do arcade gaming in handheld mode, and the screen looks beautiful. There's so many options with the emulators to tweak everything to make it look the way you want it to. And it's just an honorable mention to you guys. Something that I love, you know, we all have a passion for arcade gaming, and I know we love console gaming as well. But to put it in the palm of your hand and be able to play it is just, it's so much fun. And it's fun to tinker with too, if you're a tinkerer. So that's another thing that I kind of always think about. I want to say, let me scroll up because I feel like, what's up, Brooklyn? I've been like talking my tatas off here, and I missed probably Atomiswave. Yeah, Atomiswave, you know, as in like Samurai Showdown 6 and some of those 3D generational games that were also like same era as Naomi. Atomiswave is basically a Dreamcast. So, but yeah, 150. And then if you get the VS, I think that's 125, but it doesn't have quite as much power. I can't remember if it has less memory or what exactly it was. So yeah. Anyways, what's coming on next? We got Super Game Room dudes probably. What's the storage space? So I think it comes with either a 64. I think it comes with a 64 gigabyte. And then the OS is on a separate memory stick, which is cool. So you can just use the one for games. That's the way to go, right? this is interesting. I am not familiar with it. Irritating maze. Wow. I've never seen an MVS with a trackball, but that's crazy. So I appreciate you guys for joining. It was great having you all here. And I don't know, is Super Game Room Dudes doing their show tonight? But if they are, I'm sure there's going to be some hilarious banter in there. I am getting blown up on text messages right now, of course. But thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And don't buy into any craziness. Always do your research. And if you guys ever have any questions, let me know. Drop them in the comments. And I'll do my best to answer them or bring them up on another show. Appreciate you guys. And until next time, I'll see you guys then.